Chapter 11, Follow You to Virgie. This is my favorite chapter. I remember, but I don't remember what it's about, so I'm excited. And Follow You to Virgie is probably in my top 5 favorite songs. So sorry. So, I take that seriously. I take it very seriously. Number 1 is Head Up, Heart Strong, if you wanted to know. Anyway. At a young age, I learned to find comfort in my physical body. I was given years of experience, was taken its toll out on my flesh. Feeling drained, defeated, lost, now I am struggling to look at what I had become. I was falling out of love with myself. And the good life was hurting me and my family. However, I am stuck, fixed in, and cannot move. When I start to feel like this, feel like I do not love myself, when it causes you hurt to look in at the mirror and see with your 2 eyes that you are a shell of who you wanted to be by now. Every negative thing that you have thought or heard about you plays through the loudspeakers in your head. Hurry to change the station to something happier. Rushing to change my mindset. Tell myself all the things I love about myself. Do my affirmations and my prayers. Turn on my radio with the most positive music I can find. Rewire my brain to find the good. The good in another day. Looking at the good in these painful, slow, and cold days. Helping from flooding my car with tears. Turn my heated seats on in a hope that it will thaw my cold and hardened heart. Nothing seemed to be working. My mind is still in full storm mode. I cannot seem to get this machine under control. Seek help. My recipe for hiding my depression and anxiety was not working as the year was ending in 2020. I changed the music to podcast. Nope, not sparking joy. Turn on a book of someone telling me to drink more water, shaming me for not waking up earlier, and all it did was make me angry, aggravated that another person was telling me to just wake up earlier. Every new distraction to escape my mental health storm was not working. All the distractions seemed to be making me more upset. My anger and my crying was reaching a pressure point. My sadness was fueling my anger, and everything that I have done to control my depression was not working. When I feel like this, I feel so much guilt that I cannot control my emotions. I have been trained, taught, and groomed to control my head and my heart. And all my family feared for me, feared this day, the day that I felt real anger, the kind of anger that comes from experience. My family worried that Gail's hothead had been passed down to me. Her anger would arise in my head. I am at my core a sweet, smiling girl, and life seemed to be killing that person in me. As life guided pain, regret, and sadness a steel blade down my spine, the metal was waking me up to all the reasons why all the women before me were called crazy. One of my favorite things I've ever written. As life glided pain, regret, and sadness as steel blade down my spine, the metal was waking me up to all the reasons why all the women before me were called crazy. Crazy was labeled on them because they spoke up. When life was kicking them, they kicked back. When I get this low, seek coverage, I'm about to blow. This trait in myself I hate. If I cannot get myself under control, people are going to get hurt. The amount of punishment I have caused on my own mind, from guilt of not being perfect to get everything done in the day that I needed to. I would not sleep. Rationally, I know that I'm doing everything that I can. However, my demon in my head tells me I'm a failure. Now, I was avoiding the medicine in my head needed sleep. That medicine offered me a way to lower the voices in my ear. And however, my pain did not go away. My head needed to reset. Sleep is the only way for my mind to navigate rocky waters ahead. My head gets reset in my slumber. My depression knows this and will fight my sleep. Depression is the tool the devil likes to use the most, convincing you that you will find joy in the bottle, joint, or lover. Then waking us up in the morning with depression, making you a cup of coffee, sipping it slow with negative self talk, helping me, telling me all the things I'm doing wrong, all the worst case scenarios, all the wasted sleep. My thoughts laugh at me that sleep will offer nothing but more wasted time. Sleep is for the dead. Well, I feel like I'm dead without sleep. My dreams bring messages from my angels, and everyone gone sitting around a round table, waiting their turn to tell me why which harebrained idea I had was a horrible one, giving me counsel and sending me back to the waking world. My world in 2020 felt like I was waking into a war. The notes from my guardians were very needed in the days ahead, and in this dream, hard to keep track of the notes. And every day was a test, and you forgot your notes in your last class. When my insomnia came into my head, the winter of 2020, I was unable to recharge and reconnect with my angels. Messages that I used as a compass for my life were turned off. The older I got, the messages were becoming unclear or not coming at all. My usual recipe to get my reset was not working because I was not sleeping, and all I was doing was screaming terrible things at everyone I loved, things I felt about myself, my ex husband taking the blows. My joy for life was gone, and by the end of my working day, there was no joy left for my family. I gave it all away for free, wrapping my entire life and soul into a job while my family was taking the abuse. Abuse built in a response all those years of pain. I was the tough one, the strong one, the happy one, the one that had it all together, the one everyone looked to for inspiration. However, I was screaming underwater. No one could see that my demon was waterboarding me behind my glossy blues, that this happy, sweet girl wanted to die, dancing with the thoughts to manifest my own fate. And I would never hurt myself, but I can make a fatal decision. So just keep reading. This is what I think overdoses are sometimes summed up to be, is a fatal decision of a suicidal ideation. Addiction is a symptom of something far greater going on. This is a skill I learned in working closely with top level behavioral health professionals. And if someone you love presents with signs and symptoms of addiction, it is likely, no, not likely, it is usually they are suffering from a major mental health crisis. And what I did was be open about what I went through, and so that way people can see, if I'm always happy. No, not. I am now because I'm medicated. So, and this is 3 years ago, and I went through so much. So, everybody, there there is something that needs to be dug on. They are making decisions that cannot be taken back. Can this kill me? Maybe, but is that so bad? That is a suicidal thought that I do not think is talked about enough. Choosing to make a bad decision that can end your life. Suicidal thoughts do not come in romantic letters. They come one day at the kitchen sink, and you need the noise to stop now. Then the fatal decision, whether it's getting into a car, whether it's pulling fluid into the needle, whether it's crawling into the bed with someone who would kill you on a bad day. We all have something that we do repeatedly. And even though we know that it will kill us, that is the devil spinning you. That is the devil spinning into you as addiction. The dark force grips you. Driving too fast, nodding your head too hard, listening and crying to that song. My favorite fatal decision was a candy bar and a Mountain Dew. 1 hour car ride to feel something, leaving my soulless job to go home to a mean person. The years were killing me. That all I had was a candy bar and a song. What a lonely life. Such a different life from the vibrant girl that I was. Have I done I have danced with the devil of addiction, and when I started drinking bottles of hard liquor when I was 15 years old, when I was barely 17, I made a mistake, a life altering mistake. I fell in love with a basement. I fell in love in a basement with a boy that was not available. I don't really know that we would call that love, but at the time when I first started writing it, I thought there was a love story there. But we always end up laughing because you can't ever say our history without it being humorous. Oh. Unsure of what to do, I drank. That was all I knew how to do at that age. Drink until you do not feel this anymore. This decision to ignore what biology was doing and continue with life as normal. I used my drinking to change my life. And like some of this is a delusion. That's why I'm skipping a little because I don't want it to be too dark. My fear for the world was pressing me. Every day after life, every day after work, I felt like I was hit by a truck. I'm gonna take stuff out. If I like don't want to read it, I don't want to print it. You know what I'm saying? My fear for life was pressing me, and every day after work felt like I was hit by a truck. My muscles tense from pressing My muscles tense from the pressure of having all the responsibility, taking on more than I needed to, trying to make sure that I was the best at everything I did. Day after day, trying to be the hero was running me down. My body went into autopilot, and all I was doing was moving my body from one place to another. My work was failing. My home was falling apart, and all I wanted was to crawl into a hole and forget about this mess I'm in. How can someone so happy feel like this, resenting every smile I gave away? Where where were all these people? All these people I helped. I am dying on the side of the road and no one is there. My physical body was fine. My subconscious, the fuel to my physical frame, was self destructing itself. This can take everything down. The entire machine could go down. If I do not do something about it, my subconscious is my link with God. My soul left and felt like it was leaving my body. And every day I felt like I was in the line for the long black train. And normally I am usually screaming at my son, it's going to be a good day, or is it going to be a good day or a great day with sleep still in his eyes? I used to be able to swing him on my hip with his underwear and muck boots, get mud on my scrubs, and we would laugh. Smiles all day because of that son of mine, a son whose smile feels like an old friend, just a person who I used to know. Mornings that were once filled with laughs and joys, now I simply am putting one foot in front of the other to just get through the day. I was miserable. My depression and anxiety had become painful conditions. No one could see my pain because it was on the inside. My face that was once bright and beautiful, now I look like a walking zombie. Out the door and in the car, and drive on the highway in an expensive car I cannot afford, along with every person I passed, and all of us in our cars dying a little. Second by second, none of us thriving, just surviving, our potential fading, the light in us turning off, and I only the car I only owned to get to this job, a car I used to park into another parking spot to get to another assignment, and every day I'm losing myself, pieces of myself floating out the windows with screams of despair. Then I drink another cup of coffee, center my mind, blasting my music, gather my badge, gather my pride, gather what is left of my joy, put a smile on, just for it to be covered with a real life mask and shield. We're going to stop there and we're going to read two. And I know it's a little depressing, but it's a book about my mental health problems. So it's sometimes depressing, but I try to make it light so that way I want it to be educational. So thanks.